Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, released earlier this year, is a comprehensive sourcebook to the domains of Dread. If you're like me, you may have thought that Ravenloft equals Barovia, but Barovia is but one of many demiplanes. Van Richten's featured over a dozen. If you're looking for even more domains of Dread, you've come to the right place. Hey everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. This video, we're going to look at Van Richten's Pocketbook to Ravenloft, designed by Jack Weighill and Christian Zeuch for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, out now on the DM's Guild. This preview video has been sponsored by the publisher. The Pocketbook to Ravenloft is designed as an expansion to the main book and includes 5 new domains of Dread, which are honestly as good as, if not better than, those in the official book, along with 2 new subclass options, 1 new lineage, and over a dozen new monsters and NPCs. It's over 75 pages long and features an absolutely gorgeous layout with awesome art, including high-res regional maps of each of the new domains. First, let's look at the new player options. Lycans are shape changers who are either partial lycanthropes or offsprings of a lycanthrope, and include a D8 table of whatever were animal you want to be able to shape change into, gaining natural weapons, +1 to armor class, and temporary hit points. Combine them with the Dampier to play out your underworld RPG fantasies. The 2 new subclasses are for Barbarian and Rangers. The Barbarian Path of the Witchblood grants supernatural wall climbing and a triggerable Eldritch Instinct whenever you're attacked, doubling your rage damage. The Accursed Ranger can inflict black marks on their targets, which manifests as a reverse bardic inspiration, growing stronger and more debilitating as you level up. As in Van Richten's guide, the Pocketbook's main source of content is the Dread domains. The 5 new domains take up 50 pages of this sourcebook and provide a detailed breakdown of each domain, including major settlements, culture, monsters, important NPCs, factions, sample adventure hooks, dark power manifestations, and a detailed treatise on each domain's Dark Lord. By the way, even though the Wikipedia lists over 60 official dark domains of Ravenloft, all 5 of these domains are original designs, and I'm going to provide a brief overview of all 5 of them. Dromeria is the domain of blood-soaked battle. It's a realm of multiple city-states, families, and armies vying for control as the Dread Lord Rhaegar marches his undead armies in perpetual war. Think Game of Thrones. Rhaegar has some neat ties to Curse of Strahd as well, having gained his powers through the Amber Temple and slain Strahd himself, becoming a Dark Lord of his own domain. Gowl is the domain of the fantastical mind and is made up of a single town built upon the bones of discarded worlds constructed by its Dark Lord, Martimus Jack. In Gowl, all the world is quite literally a stage, with its citizens acting according to the whims of their narcissistic Dark Lord, like a Twilight Zone episode. Jack is a terrible creator, however, and Gowl is filled with soap opera cliches, egregious stereotypes, and glaring plot holes, which should delight players and DMs. Ysriz is the domain of Everwinter, ruled by the Queen of Frost, Queen Hikolda, who rules this land from her frozen castle and travels in a sleigh of solid ice, no doubt inspired by the classic Snow Queen fairy tale. In this half-frozen world, even just lighting a fire is strictly prohibited and punishable by death, as heat is the evil queen's only weakness. Rotwald is the domain of hunters and hunted. Friendly, though superstitious settlements carve out a humble existence on the edge of a dangerous forest surrounded by mountains and filled with all manner of giant beasts and nasty monsters. This land is ruled by a sibling duo, an interesting grown-up twist on Hansel and Gretel as vengeful twin monster hunters who cut down monstrosities, whether they're evil or not. Shylus is the domain of filth and blood. In stark contrast to many of these medieval domains, Shylus is an industrialized city choked with smog, pollution, and crime. The city streets are constantly torn apart by rival gangs, while all the pollution and blood dribbles down to Scumtown, spawning relentless hordes of oozes. The Dread Lord, known as the Widowmaker, asks the age-old question, what if the Punisher sold his soul to Jubilex, Lord of Oozes, and became a legendary assassin? Finally, we're given over a dozen new monsters to insert into these inventive domains, including Frostbitten Knights for Ysriz, a Dread Studio audience and choruses for Gowl, and Putrid Oozes for Shylus. If you loved Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, I can easily guarantee that you are going to enjoy Van Richten's Pocketbook to Ravenloft. It features the same stellar design and attention to detail for each of its domains, many of which I find more interesting than those in the main book. And if you're not familiar with the main guidebook, this could very well be your perfect entry point into the twisted worlds of Ravenloft. Thank you all for watching this DM's Guild preview. If you'd like for me to cover your D&D related product, you can reach out to me at roguewatson.com, and you can support my work at patreon.com/roguewatson.